Hello. Welcome. Uh we are finally, for the love of God, done with our preseason season previews for each team. Unless there is a rousing request for them to come back, I don't think we'll do them.
No. No.
I really don't think so. Um Baseball's back in season. That's a good thing.
Yeah. It gives me stuff to watch now.
So we're kind of gonna go how it's gonna look. We're gonna go through AAA through single A and give you a kind of like a quick cheat sheet on how every league's going right now. Talk about some news that's going on in minor league baseball, and then we have a segment at the end that we're gonna call oddities, because the fact that minor league baseball, anything can happen. And so we're gonna have a special segment at the end. The way I think of it is almost like a ESPN not top 10.
Yeah, kind of.
So, starting off in AAA, the Memphis Cardinals are leading the International League with a record of 11-3. Big news out of the Cardinals camp this week is Packy Naughton left the game. I think it was no, it wasn't yesterday. It was a few nights ago. Due to a UCL injury, and that's an issue. Like, this dude cannot stay healthy. That's his biggest issue right now, is just staying healthy. So St. Louis is leading the International League. Hold on, I did this completely wrong. Hold on, because okay. And then in the Pacific Coast League, the Sacramento River Cats, AAA team for the Giants, is leading the Pacific Coast League right now with a record of 9-4. We'll get into why that is, the fact that they're blowing up right now, and it's a lot to do with one guy. I will say this though. I don't know if Memphis is off to a hot start, yeah, but if you look at the stats right now, Iowa and Louisville have plenty of people in the top statistically, when it comes to RBIs, hits, home runs. Like, they're good statistically.
I think the big thing for Memphis was just who they got to play those first couple weeks.
And that does help out. Moving on to Double A. The Richmond Flying Squirrels are leading the Eastern League right now with a record of 7-1.
Can I point something out about the Eastern League real quick?
Yeah.
So if you look at it by divisions, you have one division that has 3 teams over 5 wins. In the Northeast division, there's literally only one team with 5 wins.
That's the
It's Binghamton.
yeah.
But the fact that like the division is so split that badly, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think it just shows how desperate some of these teams are when it comes to needing good like the prospects are, I don't know. It's still early in the season. I think you still need to give some guys time to get used to new scenery and things like that. So I wouldn't it is too early to hit the panic button just yet.
I don't know. I mean, when you start the season off like Altoona and go 0-8, I don't know when panic starts to set in.
You're still talking about just a week of baseball.
Huh?
You're still just talking about like a week in baseball.
True.
So, moving to AA, we have Chattanooga, the Lookouts, the Reds AA team. They're leading the Southern League right now with a record of 7-1. Seems like they're enjoying that new stadium. They have a record of that. We move to let me make sure I got this right. The Texas League, where the Midland Rockhounds, the Tulsa Drillers, and the Northwest Arkansas Naturals are tied for first with a record of 6-2. Moving to High A, in the Midwest League, the Great Lake Loons, which is the Dodgers AA or High A team, leads the Midwest League with a record of 6-2. The Eugene Emeralds leads the Northwest League with a record of 7-1. The Greensboro Grasshoppers and the Bowling Green Hot Rods lead the South Atlantic League with a record of 6-2. Moving to Single A, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes lead the California League with a record of 6-2. The the Hickory Crawdads and the Salem Ridge Yaks lead the Carolina League with a record of 6-2. And then the Palm Beach Cardinals and the Lakeland Tigers lead the Florida League with a record of 7-2. So, one thing to note, St. Louis has 2 teams that are leading their division leagues right now. The Giants have 3.
If you're a Giants fan, you're happy about that.
Yeah, the Dodgers have 2. So,
we'll see how they finish.
Yeah, Tulsa. My bad.
I mean, we're definitely getting into the tough part of the season and all that.
No, not yet. We haven't even been close to All-Star break. We're not even close to the tough
part.
With
some of these teams, like, schedules coming up.
It's still too early or we just started. It's too early to hit the panic button.
I'm not saying panic, but, I mean, there's some tough road trips coming up for some of these teams.
All right, let's move to some news for the year so far. Some of this is going to be us just talking and having natural conversation. The first thing to talk about comes out of the it started last year in the Arizona Fall League. They brought it to the Florida State League, and it's another form of challenging, and it is the check swing challenge. This allows teams to have 2 challenges to see if a batter checked their swing. Basically how this works is the same ABS system that's used for the same cameras that are used for ABS are used for check swings. To my understanding, there's like a parallel line that goes off the batter's front foot.
So it's kind of more at like an angle off the batter's foot, but like it's way out in front of the plate. So like I just watched a video of a failed check swing from the Arizona League last year. And like the bat's completely by, but if it wasn't at this line, he'd be fine. It's weird the way that this is going to work because, I mean, what do you determine, like what's the distance determined to be a check swing? Because you got to think, if a guy is forward in the plate, his check swing's going to be different than a guy who's sitting back in the box.
And so I think that's why they're doing it from the front foot of the batter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know how I feel with all these different challenges, things to challenge getting added. I understand with ABS because we've had some egregious balls called strikes and strikes called balls. But
I mean, St. Louis at one point went 4 for 4 last night on challenges.
So St. Louis and Boston combined for like, I think 7 innings were 6 for 6 on ABS challenges, and St. Louis was 4 for 4. So, I mean, there's some good coming out of it, but a check swing challenge just doesn't make sense to me.
So that's why they're basing it off of the hitter's front foot. Because think about this, okay? If you have a guy that's sitting with his back foot, because okay, I guess we're gonna drop some ball knowledge on him for a second, okay? Go watch a baseball game. Go watch a high school baseball game, okay? And you know who is an advanced hitter by where they line up in the box. And why I say, what were you gonna say?
Nothing.
Okay. Could you do me a favor and just turn your mic down just a little bit because you're picking me up? And here's why I say that is because a hitter that's advanced is going to have his back foot on that back line. Does that make sense? And so that's why I'm saying in this, it's based off the hitter's front foot, because if you have a guy that is splitting the middle of the plate with his legs, okay, and he check swings, the definition of a check swing is breaking the plane of the plate, right? Okay. So that's where they're trying to make it equal all around, is instead of it being, all right, the guy just has to break the plane of the plate, because the guy that's splitting the middle of the plate is going to break the plane of the plate easier than a guy that has his back foot on the chalk of the back of the batter's box. So that's why they're basing it off their front foot instead of the plate itself.
But see, here's why I find that dumb. Because now you're penalizing the dude for being back on the plate. Because his check swing may not break that plane of the plate.
No, it's going to. Like it is.
I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I feel like we're almost to the point to where, and I don't want this to happen, but we're almost to the point to where
You're really glitchy.
I don't know why. We're almost to the point to where we just need to say, what's the point of having umpires if we're just going to have everything be automated?
And I get that point, but that's why I'm saying that's like, I don't know. It's just, it's evolving. I don't like it. I think it takes away from the game. I think at the end of the season, you're going to hear more catchers being upset over the fact that they can't frame a pitch anymore.
I mean, heck, you saw what happened in so far only one game's been ended on an ABS challenge. I think it was Baltimore. I mean, and we mentioned this whenever we first heard ABS was coming to Major League. What's going to happen if, just hypothetically, we get to Game 7 of the World Series and a World Series is decided by an ABS challenge?
I think at this point, it's just, that's the way the cards are dealt right now. Unless something changes in the future, like, it's kind of too late to complain. Like, you can complain about it until your face is blue. But
I'm not complaining. I'm just wondering. Because at some point, somebody's going to have... I mean, I'm sure there are already teams that hate this. At least manager-wise.
But at the end of the day, you can't get mad about it whenever the thing is right and the umpire was wrong.
No, I mean, yeah, but... I mean, I saw something. It was like... who's Aaron Boone? They're like, Aaron Boone's so happy that the ABS system's in because he won't get thrown out of games. He's already been thrown out of 3 games for arguing the ABS.
I didn't realize you were this passionate about it.
Yeah, because me and you have both been catchers. So we both get the art of framing the pitch. The fact that that's now being taken away from catchers and stuff, I don't like it.
No, it does. It does take the importance out of having a catcher.
Because like now the only thing the catcher's good for is catching it, throwing a runner out, or if there's a play at the plate, or if they have to throw down to first. Like the finesse of being a catcher has been taken away. At least in my point of view.
I don't really have a rebuttal to that. I mean, at this point, I've just accepted it.
Yes,
You're not going to change anything
no.
at all, and so you can sit here and argue about it till your face is blue. But in all seriousness, I mean, they've agreed to it. We're stuck with it.
Now the question is just how long does it stay?
Until the players and the coaches and the owners gripe about it enough for MLB to take it away. And it could have happened with this next collective players bargaining agreement. So, well, it'll be interesting to see how MLB decides to carry this on, if they progress it to the higher levels as we progress. So, moving on to another thing of note. You want to talk about this one because you're the one that brought this up. Your mic's muted.
So in yesterday's game between, trying to remember the team name. Why am I blanking? The Creighton Wilkes Bear and the Durham Bulls. Charles Lagrange, who's the number 2 prospect for the Yankees, made his 3rd start of the season. He did end up taking a loss 4-2 to Durham, but here's the impressive thing. Both his four-seam and his sinker averaged triple digits. He had 24 of his 47 fastballs clocked over 100 miles per hour and had 9 fastballs that hit 102. For a dude to be able to shove like that with that speed, what the heck is he doing in trip? Why is he not? What's keeping him from moving up?
He's a prospect for the Yankees. What's he ranked?
Number 2.
Okay, hold on. My computer being slow.
I mean, he's at AAA, but if he's throwing like that.
Let's see. I think your biggest issue is the ERA is really high. He's only pitched in 3 games and already given up 2 home runs. He's got 9 walks in 10 innings. So he's averaging a walk an inning. Now, granted, he's got 13 Ks and 10 and 2/3 innings, but 7 hits in 10 innings with, I mean, like, the numbers are okay. I think if he continues to put up these ridiculous speeds, like, yeah, there's no reason for the Yankees to keep him there. But at the same point in time, I mean, the Yankees are notorious for being slow to pull guys up.
Yeah, I just don't want this to become a situation of he's set in the minors for so long that by the time
he's already been in the he's been in the minors since 2022.
So 4 years. I get that. What I mean is like where he's stuck in there so long that something devastating, like a devastating injury happens.
I don't think that's the case, but I think you're going to need to see more ticks in the win column, which he could potentially get more help. I mean, once he moves to, if he does make that move up to the MLB level. So, moving Noah Schultz, one of the top pitching prospects for the White Sox, is getting called up to the MLB. Right now, through 3 starts, he has a 3-0 record, a 1.29 ERA, 14 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts, an average against him of 0.89 and a whip of 0.43. I think the writing was on the wall that if he had a season like he's having right now, that there was no question if the White Sox were going to call him up. And they have. So props to him. I mean, the strikeout to innings is impressive. He's got a 3-0 record already. I mean, the ERA is low, the WHIP's low, the average is extremely low. So I don't know if they've announced. Let me see. I don't know if they have announced when his first start will be. Let me see.
April 14th against Tampa Bay.
At home.
Yeah.
I'll definitely try to watch that game then, if that's the case. So, James Tibbs, a outfield first base prospect for the Dodgers, has 7 home runs in 14 games. The ball is flying off of his bat right now. Let me pull up his stuff again. He's sitting in AAA right now. He's got a 357 average, a 446 on base percentage, a 839 slugging. He's got 20 hits and 56 at bats with 4 doubles, 1 triple, 7 home runs, 13 RBIs. The biggest question is, whose spot does he take in that Dodgers organization?
He's an outfielder
and first baseman.
Well, he ain't taking Freddie's spot. The only problem is the outfield's what?
I can tell you. Hold on.
Oh, going back to Schultz real quick. I did not know the man was 6'10".
Oh,
He's a giant on the mound.
Yeah. He's massive.
That's scary to see.
We'll just go with today's starting roster. You have Kyle Tucker, Angel Pages, and then Alex Call. He's only had 9 at-bats with a 444 average, no home runs, 1 RBI. And Pages, or Pages isn't having a bad season either at the plate. He's already got a 442 average. You're not going to take the bat out of Kyle Tucker's hand.
You're not going to take the bat out of Tucker or Teoscar.
That's who I was thinking about. Teoscar's probably their everyday left fielder, isn't he?
Yeah, I would think so. I think they're just giving him a day off. I feel like out of all those people, it's probably Call.
But Call's not even their standard guy.
I don't know. That'll be an interesting thing.
If you're a MLB team that needs a outfielder, this is definitely a guy for you to go try to make a trade for.
You know what they could do too? Well, no, that's kind of hard because
you're not going to DH him because that's Ohtani.
That's Ohtani.
Yeah, you're not going to DH him at all because that's Ohtani.
He's just in a tough situation here.
Yeah, on a loaded team. It's tough.
He's on a loaded team. First base is a lock. No matter what, unless Freeman just goes down with a season-ending injury.
Yeah. Bryce Eldridge, the number 1 prospect for the San Francisco Giants, is on an absolute tear right now himself with a 360 average, a 492 on base percentage, 520 slugging, 1 home run, 8 RBIs, and 18 hits and 15 at-bats. With numbers like this, you can't keep him in the minors long enough. You need to call him up immediately. Call him up. To a Giants team that honestly, I think, I'm thinking about these teams, right? Yankees, when's the last time they had a solid call-up out of their own organization and a guy they didn't trade for? Do you know what I mean? The Dodgers, when was the last time they had a guy that they brought up in their organization that they didn't have to call, that they didn't get through free agency? And for the Giants, I think this would be a breath of fresh air, not only to the clubhouse, but also to the team. I mean, they're sitting 6-9 right now, 5.5 out of first place of the Dodgers. In all seriousness, like, why are you keeping them in your minor league? Why are you keeping them in the minors? There's no reason for you to keep them in your minor leagues.
What position does he play?
First base.
I mean, who's the first baseman for the Giants?
Well, I mean, they do have a DH position too he could play at.
I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to be called up just to DH.
Well, they're not gonna. Let me see. Hold on. Rafael Devers played first base yesterday.
They're playing right now.
Who's their first baseman?
I'm looking.
Seems like Devers been their everyday first baseman.
Every day. So I mean, are you gonna take it away from Devers?
It's a question. You could.
I mean, their DH.
But then you lose that. But do you move Devers to the DH or?
Well, their DH right today is Schmidt.
Schmidt's been their DH all year.
I mean, he's got a 351 average, 415 on base, a 486 slugging. No home runs yet, but he's already got 3 RBIs.
The best thing I ever heard in a clubhouse one time was there was a director of minor league player development. There was this young kid that had been called up AA, and he had just gotten the fresh call. And he asked the guy, he said, "What can I do to get called up quicker this time and not sit so long in one division?" And his advice was, put up numbers and play where they have to call you up. And that's what this guy's doing right now.
I mean, he's just a first baseman. He doesn't have like any secondary position.
Not really. You could try to stick him in a corner outfield spot if you want to.
Well, you can't stick him at third.
No.
You got Chapman.
He is 6'7".
Could you maybe transition him to the outfield?
I don't think so.
He's like, I mean, he's just gonna fall into the same thing that Tibbs is. I mean, he's in a tough spot. So.
Sorry, we got a game on right now. It's the Liberty Jacksonville State game, and did you see what they called him out on?
No, what was it?
He bent his knee on an inside pitch.
Oh, so they're saying he interfered it? Wow.
Yeah. Hold on, the replay's on right now. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did. Put his knee right over the plate.
That's ridiculous. And here,
all right.
And here
Sorry,
I am.
Let's get back to minor league baseball.
And here I am complaining about ABS when we got crap like that happening.
Kevin McGonigle, the number 2 prospect in all of baseball, but he's lighting it up right now in Detroit. Hit his first home run today against Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins. So props to McGonigle. He's on a tear right now too, honestly. He's not doing too bad for the Tigers organization. Let me pull him up really quick so I can see these numbers. 322 average, a 412 on base percentage, a 508 slugging. He's got 19 hits and 59 at bats with 1 home run, 8 RBIs, 1 stolen base, 9 walks. He has 6 doubles and 1 triple. So I think he might be the next one that we talk about in a second. Because this next segment is the next segment, I feel like we're going to be on for this next topic. I think we're going to be on for a little bit. So, this is I've titled this note, "What the crap are these contracts?" So if you don't know, within the past, since the season started, these MLB organizations are making crazy signings. Konnor Griffin just got called up to the Pirates. He played 7 games, or was it 5? 5 games.
No, it was 7. Because they showed the graph on the Cardinal game last night. It was like 7 games between him.
So he's the only one out of these 3 we're going to talk about that's got any MLB time currently.
Yeah.
He's had 7 games, and he signed a contract the other day with the Pirates for 9 years and $140 million at 19 years old. Colt Emerson, shortstop for the Mariners at 20 years old and has had 0 time in the major leagues, has signed for 8 years and $95 million. Cooper Pratt for the Brewers at 21 years old and has 0 major league time, signed for 8 years, $50.7 million. Between them all, 25 years, $285.7 million.
But here's the one thing that you're seeing now. You're seeing organizations that have these young stars, and they're making sure they stay with them.
I don't want to be like a teacher and be like, and why are they signing these guys to these things? It's obvious.
It's obvious. You cannot tell me that if you are the Dodgers, the Yankees, or one of these teams that have like these ridiculous lineups, you're not sitting there going, man, I really hope they don't sign this dude to a long ass contract.
It's not that. It has everything to do with the I'm standing firm on this. Okay? I'm standing firm on this statement. This time next year we will not be playing Major League Baseball.
You think it's a lockdown?
It's the lockdown. That's why these teams are doing these contracts.
I mean,
they're doing these no. They're doing these massive contracts, okay? Because once you start putting salary caps on teams, these teams won't have the money
to do
this stuff. And so that's why they're doing it now, so that they're grandfathered in whenever they get to the new collective agreement. That's why you're seeing these guys being signed for crazy amounts of money. And that is like, that's the sole reason behind why they're doing this. Because, okay, let's just, like, okay. Do you think, like, there's a chance that next year the salary cap for the Pirates might be $140 million just themselves? Do you see what I'm saying? And so I think as the year goes on, you will see these like crazy signings of players. Like why JJ Weatherholt might get a massive contract. Here's a guy that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but is absolutely making me eat my own words right now. Max Clark. He might get himself a massive contract. You could see the whole top 10 sign massive contracts before the end of the year so that they can get grandfathered in on these new deals. That is the sole reason why they're doing these things, is because they know that they're not going to be able to sign these guys for this amount of money and for this long. Like, you're not going to be able to do that when it comes time for the new salary cap and for these new rules to come into place.
Okay, so going off of Konnor Griffith's new one, $140 million, he is up there now with the names of Kyle Schwarber and Pete Alonso within the amount of money he's making. I mean,
he's played 7 games and he's 19 years old.
He's 19 years old and he's getting paid more than All-Stars, and I mean, he's being paid more than Bo Bichette and PCA.
And that's what I'm saying. You're going to see these teams reach into their pockets and pull out crazy amount of money to sign these guys to long contracts. Like, if you're the Cardinals, you're getting ready to sign the crap out of Jordan Walker, J.J. Weatherholt, and Mason Wynn.
I don't know how much longer the Cardinals are going to be willing to sit on Walker.
He's got 7 home runs. What the crap you talking about?
Yeah, but
he's leading the league right now in home runs.
We both know what happens with him.
I don't know. From what I've seen and what he's done this past offseason, going to Driveline and working with him, it's helping him out a lot. But that's besides the point. Like, the reason why they're doing these massive contracts like they're doing in them is simply because they know that with this new collective players agreement, like, and especially the owners too, the owners are going to want a salary cap. And do you know who we have to thank for the fact that now baseball will have a salary cap? The Dodgers. That's the thing about it, right? And so that's the frustrating thing about it, is that when you have one bad apple that ruins it all for the others, you know? So, do you have anything else about the contracts you want to talk about? Because it's crazy to me.
I mean, not really. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how many more of these come out within the recent weeks.
I don't think it's going to be a weeks thing. I think it's going to be...
It'll be throughout the season, but I'm wondering how many will come out like this week.
Like, for example, Konnor Griffin right now in the major leagues already has a 143 average, a 242 on base percentage, a 179 slugging through 9 games. He's got no home runs, 4 RBIs, 9 strikeouts, and 1 stolen base. Let's look at Colt Emerson. He's got a 286 average, a 327 on base percentage, a 435 slugging, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases through 12 games. Let's look at the Brewers. Cooper Pratt, shortstop. He's got a 182 average, a 270 on base percentage, a 182 slugging, right? 1 RBI and 2 stolen bases in 8 games. But yet you have a guy like, hold on, let me pull him up. You got a guy like Jesus Meade that's got a 361 average, a 439 on base percentage, a 583 slugging, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases through 8 games. Why you didn't give this you're selling the farm for players that haven't even proved themselves yet. Does that make sense? But then again, these guys aren't going to want to make that cut people aren't going to want to make the cut. Like, they'd rather buy them now and have them turn out to be crap than not buy them now and for them to turn out to be great players for other teams. All right, you ready to get into my favorite segment?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to be our oddity segment of the episodes. This is where we talk about random things that happened in baseball, in minor league baseball. Just a few of them, as well as a few of new alternate identities that Eli's going crazy about, because he's got one on here that he's insane about.
I'm not going crazy about it. It's just, it's interesting to see like the ideas that teams come up with.
Understood.
I mean, it's like me and you said whenever we did like that one episode that was strictly about alternate identities. I mean, some of the ones that teams cook up are really good, and then others are crap. So it's just cool to like see the backstory behind them.
All right, oddity number 1 for the week: the Springfield Cardinals scored 2 runs with no pitches or no hits. The Springfield Cardinals the other night stole back-to-back players at home, which resulted in 2 runs, kind of like both happening deja vu. If I'm not mistaken, they were almost on back-to-back pitches too, weren't they? Or back-to-back plays, weren't they?
It was I think back-to-back pitches. Because what happened the first one was it was a ball, and then like the pitcher caught it, turned his back, and the runner went. And I think like almost the exact same thing happened the next pitch.
Yeah. The Knoxville Smokies had a promotion. Okay, here's the promotion. Okay. It was on a Thursday night playing the Rocket City Trash Pandas in Knoxville, Tennessee. The Smokies promotion was free beer night. Until a team scores, you have free beer. Okay. I can just imagine the amount of college students that ran to the stadium, or fans, or crippling alcoholics.
Oh, it was probably a sold out game.
It wasn't sold out.
Well, decent bit.
So all these people show up to the stadium thinking, man, if we can at least just make it to the fourth, I can have so many beers. I'm going to be able to crush the 9 beers, 9 hot dogs in 3 innings.
I was about to say, this be the quickest way to do the 9-inning challenge.
So all these fans file into the stadium expecting a long night, hoping for a great pitchers matchup. You know, we want a no-hitter from both guys going into the 9th, and as long as the Smokies win, we don't care. Just give us our beer. The free beer night lasted less than half an inning. It lasted 4 hitters. Rocket City comes up in the first inning. Their leadoff hitter hits a double. He gets on to second base. The next guy hits a single, so they're sitting first and third. First and third. The next hitter comes up and grounds out, leading. They got the guy at second, couldn't get the guy out at third. The run. Oh no! I take the back. First and third, or second base, guy gets hit over on a ground ball to third base. Now it's bases. Then they walk the hitter. So now they're first and third. Guy hits a backside single. Rocket City scores a guy within 5 minutes of the game starting. So, hopefully the Smokies have another night where they promise free beer, because if I'm a fan that bought a ticket to that game, kind of feels like I got cheated out.
I want a refund.
So, not many people got that many free beers that night. All right, I'll let you take over the next 2 things.
Hopefully I can make it through it. My computer's about to die. So the Columbus Clingstone's new alternate identity is the Columbus Scramble Dogs. This is, you can trace this all the way back to Dinglewood Pharmacy. It consists of a hot dog cut up while still in the bun. It's then covered with chili, cheese, and oyster crackers. So this is basically a tribute to a Columbus delicacy. They are becoming the Scramble Dogs May 30th, July 31st, and September 5th. Another alternate identity coming out of the Southern League. The Biloxi Shuckers are becoming the Biloxi Mudbugs. This is a tribute to the rich tradition of crawfish cuisine across the Gulf Coast. They are becoming the Mudbugs April 25th, May 23rd, and August 15th. So those are the 2 new identities that have come out in the recent weeks.
The last oddity we need to talk about is the New Hampshire Fisher Cats the other night. Were playing. Let me see. Who were they playing? I can tell you real quick. Hold on. They were playing the. If this thing will load. Okay, there we go. They were playing the Portland. I think that's the Red Sox AA.
Oh, the Sea Dogs?
Sea Dogs, yes. Okay, so New Hampshire scored 10 runs on 1 hit in the second inning the other night against the Portland Sea Dogs.
How the heck does this happen?
Great question. That's why I'm going to explain it to you. I think it was the second. Yes, it was the second inning. So New Hampshire comes up, gets blanked in the first inning. Portland comes out and scores 2 runs in the bottom of the first. And those guys are probably buzzing in the dugout. Hey, we got 2 runs. We're not looking too bad. All right, here we go. New Hampshire, this is what happened the inning that they were up to bat. Okay, you ready? Okay. Walk. So now you got to go on first and second. Wild pitch. They moved to second and third. Okay. First out of the inning, right? We're still second and third. First out of the inning was a strikeout. Next guy comes up to bat, still second and third. We have a sacrifice fly. The guy on third scores. Okay. We have back-to-back walks. Okay. So now bases are loaded. Another walk, which means the guy from third scores. The next hitter comes up and is hit by a pitch.
We're sitting at 3 runs.
Right. What? No, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the hit by pitch, 3 runs. Next batter comes up, wild pitch, another run scores.
4.
Then we have a walk, which loads the bases back up. Then we have another hit by pitch.
So 5. Is this all by the same pitcher?
I don't know.
It better not be.
I could try to find it out really quick if you want. So then we have another walk, which then loads the bases again. Then we have another walk, which scores the guy from third. Then we have a wild pitch that scores the guy from third. So bases are still loaded. Or no. Second and third. Then we have a single, which scores 2 runs. And then we have a strikeout.
What day was this?
I believe it was Tuesday. April 7th.
Okay, it would have had to have been by the same pitcher because Hayden Mullins has 2 games, an 0-1 record, and his ERA coming out of that game was 27.
I can tell you, hold on.
It would have had to have been him.
No, it was not. So Mullins comes in and pitches 1 2/3 innings and gives up 5 runs. He has 5. So here's the crazy thing. You ready for this? He gave up 5 runs, had 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Okay. Then Juan comes in, don't know his first name, doesn't even complete an out, gives up 5 runs and 3 walks. Freeney comes in and gives up 2 runs, a walk, and strikes out 3.
3 pitchers for 1 inning.
3 pitchers for 1 inning.
What's the combined ERA between these two? Or between all 3 of them? Coming out of that game.
You're looking at a 34.71 between all 3. So that's what you're sitting at right now. So all right. Well, we're going to end the episode here. Make sure you give us a follow on our Instagram and Around the Minor League. And then make sure you'll find the links to our Spotify, our Apple, and our YouTube. Give us a follow on whatever you listen to us on. Shoot us a DM if you have any questions about anything. Or any oddities. You guys have a good rest of your day.